Let's go now. Go to Pittsburgh. Turn. Shit. Watch the shit. Go. Check 99.
Although a jet sweep to start the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Got him in. It's Brown. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. He may try and run for this. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
A gain of 7. Let's go. Let's go. 59. Watch the slant.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? Let him know. Let him know. Ready to go. Mike 40. Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Mike, 57. Mike, 57.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. Open man, here's Hamilton. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. First down, Drake. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
A gain of 7 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Ready. 69. 59. Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
On 3rd and short, Drake. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And all the way down to the 26. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Here we go, set, 50, plant. Set, go, ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Here we go.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Ready.
2nd and 15. And the pressure gets to him again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Jackson from the shotgun. Rolling to his right. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ready? 56 is the mic. Bound to lose 1.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Jackson throwing right, and that's complete. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 9th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the interception, here's Jackson. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
First down.
It's our time. It's our time.
Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin, his first touchdown on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Hey, echo.
57.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis? Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Ready. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Your track. Ready, go.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Ready up.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Yo.
Sit up. 5.
2nd and 11. Eluding the pressure right. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Ready to go.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Cut.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end Fant, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On the ready.
57 to Mike. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Come. Hit it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll look to throw here. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Deshaun Hamilton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Ravens 37, Broncos 7.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4 at the 28-yard line.
Second and 4. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They're going to look to throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Back to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here now is second and 10, again from the 41.
He's not going to get me.
Second and 10. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Get ready. Ready.
Now back to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still down.
Back to throw now on first down. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
They'll start the drive with Drake. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Right back to Drake. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 11-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. They'll find Lindsey here. And some room to work. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Second and 14. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Go. 57. Shoot.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 4th down, is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. $12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Ingram churning. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Ravens on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end? And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Set, hut, set, and read. 56. Danny. Let it go.
And they take a knee.
Jackson on the keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Today,
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Baltimore, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down.